Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is the case of the Idaho 4. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions. May the 4 victims rest in peace, condolence to the families, and may the correct justice be served someday. I'd like to thank all my subscribers, all my viewers, for all your mindfulness, your kindness, thoughtful comments. Just love my community. Decent, intelligent, kind people. I'd like to give a shout out to Bianca Jane. She is just a very kind person. She has a YouTube channel. She's quite creative. And like I said, Bianca made me Baby Huda, which I really, really appreciate. I'd like to give a big shout out to Outcast for promoting every YouTube creator. A very kind person. You can tune into his channel. He's up to late. People discuss the Idaho Moscow case and many other cases. And he makes good music. He's quite creative in his Linda Lane audios. So if you're interested in Linda Lane, I would definitely recommend Outcast. Shout out to Real Eyes Analyze, a good friend, a good subscriber. Helps me with all the research she can find. And she has a YouTube channel too. She just started. I'll put up a YouTube channel. If you're searching for facts and obviously a bit speculations, then I would advise you all to tune into Real Eyes Analyzer's channel too. So love, respect, shout out to my subscribers who mean a lot to me. Now let's come back to this case. In this report that came out on the 17th of November 2022, interestingly, they're talking about this vacant room. The detective says, although a lot was redacted, that I believe evidence was found in this room. Others, they wouldn't have been mentioning it. So tomorrow I'll talk about the whole report. But I just have a bit to say about this room. Yesterday I put up a clip of Linda Lane. If y'all saw it, I'm sure most of my subscribers have watched Linda Lane. If you watch between 1 to 2 a.m., that's when I believe Ethan and Zana were unalived. In my opinion, it's just speculations. I've always believed and said it was 2 separate timelines. Ethan and Zana were deleted first, and Maddie and Kaylee were deleted later. I will continue sticking to my timeline, no matter what. It's not because I'm a narcissistic or because I'm stubborn. It's just that every research, every digging I do into this case, all the 2 sources, or actually more than 2 sources that I have, that are close to Idaho, Moscow, seem to tell me that my research is in the right direction. Ethan and Zana were unalived earlier. If you go back to Linda Lane, you'll hear a female talking loudly, and all you hear her saying is, "They don't have it." And she repeats it twice. They don't have it. That would be Ethan and Zana, in my opinion. What don't they have? Is it money? Question mark. Is it rugs? Question mark. Because those 2 are things that people can easily get into deep waters. We watch enough of true crime. And we know what happens when you mix around with the drug dealers. It never goes well, in my opinion. Let's not forget these young college students was partying for 2 or 3 days non-stop. So this fact that the report says that there was some kind of, I don't know if it's DNA or it could be anything, but they wouldn't have mentioned it if it was nothing. Now pay attention to the body cam. You can see clearly it's from Law and Crime Fix, because I don't want anyone to be not discussing. It's all right to discuss, but being rude about it. I'm going to show you something that I've shown you before that I really believe is concerning. Look at the floor next to the room. The room is the one after this open door, the bathroom door. You see the room there? If you look at the floor, there's a red stain there. And that looks like red liquid, fresh red liquid. I'm not a doctor, not a nurse. I know I'm a licensed mental health counselor, but I don't need to be a doctor or nurse to know what I'm seeing is most likely red liquid. This is how it looks. Just zooming in, this is not normal. See, the bathroom is here, and then you see the red liquid. There's a hat or cap hanging there on the hook. Now, what is interesting about this room is, let's not forget, DM clearly told the officer, Gunderson, when he asked her, he said, "Do you know who has the keys to the room?" And she said, "No, we don't have the keys to the room." He didn't even bother to ask her, "Do you know who has the keys?" DM could have easily said, "Ask the landlord." This is a sharing house. She knows the rules. Now, this report that was on the 17th of November clearly says there was some kind of evidence found in this room, although it was redacted. So please read this report and let me know what you'll think about it, my dear subscribers. Because I always said that I believe that this empty, vacant room was used for either rugs, business, or something else. We have Emma Bailey, Demetrius, Quinn Kelly. DM's father has a criminal record. The truth be told, so does Quinn Kelly's father, allegedly. It's not even alleged, the reports are out there. Did these poor students get mixed up in something they couldn't get themselves out of? Like rugs. From the beginning of this case, WSU Kim told us that there was going to be a shakedown for rugs in this college. She said Maddie threw rugs worth $75,000. I'm sure many of y'all may say that WSU Kim is a liar. I've never debunked Dot or WSU Kim. Never. Because I believe that everyone has something to bring to the table. We can make a decision for ourselves, but not for everyone on YouTube. That's so unfair. WSU Kim could have added a bit because she was enjoying being invited to panels. But how about if I say everything WSU Kim has said? 90% of it is coming through. Completely true. She had no reason to lie. And I don't blame her for trying to protect her daughter. She don't want her daughter to be a witness or anything. It's understandable. Her daughter goes to WSU. Her daughter goes to Pullman University. Why would she be involved? The Idaho Moscow students are hiding themselves. So why would Washington Pullman be involved? Lil Kim told us what we needed to know. It's up to us if we believe her or not. And WSU Kim, if you're hearing, please contact me. I personally believe you. And I would love to hear what you have to say without judging. That's what counseling is about. We don't judge. It's not good to be biased. Even if we disagree with the person, we can agree to disagree in a respectful way. We don't have to go around saying that WSU Kim is a liar. We weren't there. She did us a favor by bringing the information. Thank you, WSU Kim. I appreciate it. Because everything you said has lined up with my research, honestly. The Sigma boys, the fraternity boys, everything that was said was right. It was WSU Kim who told us that they all knew it before 10 a.m. She told us that BF and DM were hiding in the room downstairs. That's what she heard. And so did Fochan. All these people can't be wrong. Rummaging upstairs at 2:15. The surviving roommates locked themselves. Did they lock themselves in the vacant room, I wonder? Or was it in Bethany Funk's room? And now we have Bethany Funk saying that the flash, the light and the sound or whatsoever she saw, she thought came from the other room, this vacant room. Isn't that a classic? Is this why they were hiding everything and putting it on gag order? Because they knew it wouldn't make sense. Why was Scott Green, the president, running the show? What does he have to gain in this, in my opinion? Why would the steps look like that? Even if they're partying for 2 days, isn't Bethany and Dylan using these steps to climb upstairs to the kitchen? Why didn't they take the cups and all? They had to have heard the rummaging upstairs, in my opinion. I will be soon analyzing DM's second or third interview. I heard a bit about it and I found it strange that DM told the detective that only somebody who knows this house could have done it. Somebody who knew the layers of the house. And the female detective asked her, why do you think BK let you live? And she said, I'm asking myself the same thing. Imagine a suspect comes to you face to face with a knife dripping. By the way, isn't the knife supposed to be dripping around the house? The reason I say that is, let's not forget, the knife sheath is allegedly supposed to be upstairs in Maddie's room. So is Koberger allegedly going around with a knife that would have been leaking all over the floor? Bethany Funk herself said in her interview, her first interview, she heard somebody in the kitchen. Pay attention. Somebody at the kitchen around 4 a.m., she said, it sounded like they crashed into the table. What does she mean? How could these girls sleep with the front door broken and the sliding door broken. This doesn't make sense. Did Ashlyn Koch have the keys? Did she give it back to the landlord? I heard the whole contract of the house, the lease was on her name. If that is true. She said on the news that she moved out in May. So you have 6 months that this room was vacant. Did they rent this room to someone? And could that some person have done it? We don't know what was the rules of the lease. And let's not forget, the landlord himself, one of them he's a PEDO. There's a lot going on in this house. A lot. I wonder who rented that vacant room. They must have been renting it to someone to make a bit money. It could have been somebody who was selling rugs. Let me know what you'll think. But I really believe they rented this room to someone and they're hiding it. Why does this all look staged? You have Hunter's knife there. He did not put down the knife immediately. He went and put it back later. Where was Hunter and Emily that night? They're always with Ethan and Zana. I wonder if they were chilling with them when this happened. Why is the cleaning room open? The cleaning closet? Were these people cleaning? They had 8 hours to do whatever they felt like. So I'll end by saying, I've always said it's 2 separate incidents in my opinion. I believe one target was on the 2nd floor, the other on the 3rd. I believe it was Kaylee on the 3rd and Ethan on the 2nd. Steve said they didn't have to go upstairs. I disagree. I believe they had to go upstairs because 4chan Anonymous told us that Maddie, Ethan and Zana were the main targets. Kaylee was a target of someone, definitely, and I won't be surprised if it's someone very close to her that starts with a J. If you have a professor who's concerned and nothing's being done about that, then you actually have a serious problem. Nobody would know the students better than their own teachers and professors. When a professor says he has a concern, that concern should have been taken very seriously. Because Jack D had red liquid, he had bullet fragments found in his house. His hands and face did not look right. And yes, I said it, because that is the truth. Kaylee broke up with him. Kaylee had a stalker. It was Jack D who was stalking her, in my opinion. The poor girl. It was Jack D definitely was calling Murphy in the bushes. I'm a cat person, I'm not a dog person, but I watch dogs. And I've studied dogs' behavior. Dogs go quickly to their owners and people they know well. Where was Jack D that night? Why was he lying about his timeline, is my question. He said he was at the corner club and he left at 1 o'clock. 1:34 is when he took the picture with Maddie and Katie. When somebody lies about their timeline and their alibi, then that is a problem. That is a problem for me. And I'll keep on mentioning Jack D and Jack Showalter's name until I see more people coming out, like the Davids and the Sigma Chi boys. Please like, share, and subscribe.